Today, I'm going to show you 40 plus build hacks and pro tips in Minecraft 1.18 survival that is going to improve your game. Don't you go anywhere. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode from me, Avomance. Today, I'm going to show you 40 Minecraft 1.18 survival build hacks that are going to massively improve your world. And then I'm going to give you this world with all the build hacks in it, so you come and have a closer look if you want to, work out how to build them. This world download is completely free and you can find it on avomance.com. And the seed is really gorgeous. You might want to start your new Minecraft 1.18 world right here. So let's get into the first one. Trapdoors are amazing for loads of different things, but if you make yourself a little box with all the trapdoors facing in this direction, this is the perfect animal pen. And here's why. If you attract in the animal that you want to enclose with wheat or seeds, depending on what it is, and you jump over these trapdoors, the animals will follow you straight in. Then you can jump out. But the animals can't, because they can't go that way over a trapdoor. Instant fence posts that you can jump in and out of without having to worry about carpets. Bonemeal farms are really quite useful in early game using a composter and a couple of hoppers, but they don't look very nice. So what you can do is you can use trapdoors to hide up all the ugly gubbins. It's all underneath those trapdoors and you can access it and pop in your kelp or whatever it is you're composting straight into here, and you'll see the bone meal arrive in that chest any second now. Bang, there it is, dead easy. Candles are a great new feature in Minecraft, but did you know you don't have to place them on a block? Put a temporary block underneath them and just knock that temporary block out. And you can have your own magical fantasy with floating candles. Maybe you could remake Hogwarts. A decent looking wall doesn't have to be that complicated. Just give yourself a slight gradient. Use stone bricks and cobble towards the bottom of the wall and andesite and smooth stone towards the top. Then give yourself a little bit of depth by bringing out some pillars of wood perhaps that are one block forward. Then you can use open fence gates and trapdoors and upside down steps to give you a little bit of extra detail. Don't forget buttons, they look like nails. There are hundreds of lamp ideas that you could come up with, this one using walls, fences and glowstones surrounded by trapdoors. Why not create some nests in the ground for your chickens? Place an item frame and an egg, orient it to the way you want it, and then to the side of the item frame place down a coral fan. Now that will turn grey so as it looks like old straw. If you don't want it grey and you want it to stay yellow, we can do that too. Dig yourself a hole where you want that coral fan to go. Fill it up with water and place a slab in there. So that slab is waterlogged. Then do exactly the same thing. Item frame, egg turns around to whatever orientation you want. Then put the fan on it. That fan will now stay yellow because it is sat on top of water. If you've got a hole that you want to fill up quickly, you can just do that by placing water blocks diagonally. Get your water bucket right into the corner and go diagonally across the entirety of that shape, and you will find it fills up completely with water source blocks. You can create reeds really easy in a pond by using green glass panes, and you could top them off with a green candle, a brown candle, or maybe even a sea pickle. They all look great. If you want to make sure that plants in your build stay the height that they are right now, place a little bit of string on top of them. This almost invisible string will stop those plants from growing any taller, and as a result you'll get exactly the look you want for your outside pond or whatever it is you're building. If you want to light up your pond but you don't want to use sea pickles, come underneath a lily pad and place down a lantern. They fit perfectly under there, they're completely waterlogged, and they give a massive amount of light. You could even do it with soul lanterns as well. That actually might look really good under the water. If you place down a wall and then 3 fence gates of any wood and then another wall, you get this fantastic arch effect. And you can use this as the top of walls, maybe for decorating houses or castles, or for the sides of a bridge. I have always wanted to be able to use vertical slabs, and now I can. With walls, if I connect them up, you'll see that they create a vertical slab effect between the edges. You can then put another block at the end and create a wall that looks very much like it's made out of vertical slabs, giving you a lot of extra depth. Paths using path blocks and gravel look really effective. However, you can change up the texture of some of these gravel blocks just by popping on glow lichen, and that makes it look even nicer still, like it's been walked on, or perhaps it's got a little bit of moss in there. You can also use it on ice to create a cracked effect. It looks really good from a distance, and actually it don't look too bad close up either. It just gives a little bit more texture to these big ice flats that you find in the game. It can also be used to make trees in these frozen biomes look just a little bit more frosty. I think it's quite effective, and when it's combined with some of this flat snow, it actually looks really, really great. You can make a really cool looking tree swing using some chains and some trapdoors suspended from a branch on a tree. You can also make a really cool looking garden arch using leaves and also drip leaves. If you face the drip leaf in that direction and make it 3 high, facing each other, it looks like a little bit of a palisade. Walls don't have to be made out of stone. You can bring in a little bit of wood effects to some of your walls using some stripped wood mixed in with some standard planks. Oak works really, really well for this. And then if you accent with some different deep slates and also bring in trapdoors and slabs to give more depth, it looks even better. Can you imagine this around an entire house? It'd look brilliant. You can also use lanterns, hoppers and iron bars for some different streetlight designs. The Loom is a useful workstation to create shepherd of villagers and also to get your banners out of, but you don't just have to use it as a loom. The side texture of the Loom is absolutely brilliant to use in amongst some bookshelves to represent empty books, and it gives it a much less blocky feel. Ladders are brilliant in Minecraft, but sometimes attaching them to big old blocks looks a bit ugly. But in Minecraft Java Edition, you can attach ladders to trapdoors, which gives a real laddery feel to it, so as it's a vertical structure. And if you use oak trapdoors, you can see right through, and it looks like a real ladder. A little trapdoor at the top means you can get into a tree house or some other structure. Create yourself a pathway in the desert using this upside down sandstone step. It is the only way you can get this texture in the whole of Minecraft, and it works really, really well to differentiate between the sand and the pathway you need to follow. Whatever you do, don't fall down a hole. Use different blocks like slabs and stairs to give a pathway a more well-travelled feel. And don't forget to texture them up with stone and buttons and bits of dirt so it doesn't look too flat. And don't forget to transition your pathways when you go from one area to another. This has got more stone and bits and pieces in it, whereas outside here, it is mostly path block with the occasional bit of gravel. It really helps to identify changes from one area of your build to another. But don't make it too sudden. Make sure you transition that with a few blocks on either side. Sometimes walls are internal. This is an example of a wall idea that you could use in a dungeon or inside a castle. The window is now an iron bar, not made out of glass. We've got chains going down into dispensers that looks like they're going into some kind of pulley system. Lots and lots of stone brick, bringing in some cobble and a little bit of mossy brick from the bottom upwards, not going to the top, to give that gradient effect as if the floor is ever so slightly damp. This is a really easy effect to get hold of with only a few types of blocks. This light design also bringing in those mossy blocks, meaning it could be used in a wet biome such as a swamp or inside a castle. You could use that grindstone on any or all of those 4 sides to hang off a lantern. Campfires are brilliant, but you don't have to use them as campfires. You can use them as a fantastically textured roof on the side of your house, or perhaps as a cover for your door or your window just to give it some shade. And finally, you could even make a sloped roof if you incorporate it with a little bit of oak slab. That works beautifully too. Remember, on your supports, make sure you put a little bit of stone in with your wood there, because it just makes it look that much stronger. You can create a really interesting water ducting system from a high level of water to a low level of water. Trapdoors over whatever solid block you want, really. As long as none of the channels are more than 7 blocks long, you can have a little spring up a mountain and that water be ducted all the way down into a pool right down at the bottom of the mountain, and it looks brilliant. Extended pistons make really great tables. Dig a 2-teep hole, put a redstone torch in the bottom and a piston on top of that torch. That will immediately fire, and then you can place chairs on either side. The back of a lectern makes a really good edge for an upstairs balcony, and you can cover up the front and the top with an oak trapdoor, and that looks really good too. Mixing up extinguished campfires and logs makes it look like you've got a pile there ready for firewood. Placing down a campfire means that you get that smoke effect going up for 10 blocks, which is great. But if you've got a tall house, you might want it to go a little bit higher than that to come out of the chimney. So get a hay bale and place it on top of that. That smoke will then go up a total of 25 blocks, which is way, way further, and you can see it from a long way away. You're never going to get lost again. Banners don't just have to be used as flags. You can place them on the bottom of blocks so only half of them show, which means that you can get yourself some really interesting effects by overlapping the banners and the bottom half only be shown at any one time. That looks quite cool, and you can build that up with pattern banners or just plain banners as well. Experiment with all the effects that you can get. It works really well on market stalls, but it works beautifully on castles. And you can also make it do some really weird stuff, like make pillows on sofas. A custom tree doesn't just have to be made out of a log. If you're doing some smaller, delicate trees like these poplars, use a fence post. Spruce fence posts work best. And with a larger custom tree, you can mix in the fences and the logs to make it look as if you've got a mixture of branch sizes. That makes it far more realistic. Remember, with a custom tree, the spaces between the leaves and the branches are every bit as important as the branches and the leaves themselves. The next few things are not so much build hacks as they are pro tips. As long as you're wearing some leather boots, a block of powdered snow is actually a really amazing tool. You can make sure that you can get up mountains super quickly as a result of this thing, because it creates a path that you can just pick up and collect whenever you need it. And because you're leather boots, it's never going to cause you any problems. Look at that, straight up to the top of the mountain. Now, we all know that even one block of water can stop our fall. So if we go down a hole into some water, that is absolutely fine. No damage done there. But did you know powdered snow can help you as well? Place down a bucket of powdered snow and then pop a carpet on top of it. You can then use that the same as water, and you don't even need to be wearing any leather boots. It has exactly the same effect, no damage. Lava pools can be a really great thing to animate your build. However, they're not massively realistic. They're a little bit flat, but we can do something about that. Dig a hole 3 deep and place a campfire at the bottom. On the block above that, place a sign. Doesn't matter what you write on it, because you're going to cover that up with some lava. That lava is now going to have a smoke effect. And on a bigger lava pool, that makes such a massive difference. Adding magma blocks makes the lava even more exciting and realistic as it starts to form a crust. You can even go one step further and pop in some obsidian just to break up that orange colour. That's 3 hacks right there, but I'll only count it as 2. Hide water sources under separate layers so you can have a multi-layer crop farm without so much water in the way, and it means you get more crops and a better effect. When that grows, that will look great. However, as good as that looks, we can make it look better. Try putting a path through your field using gravel, path blocks and the occasional piece of wood. This is going to make it much more alive and much more true to life. Then scatter just a few scarecrows around your field. These are made out of 3 fence posts, a hay bale and a jack-o'-lantern. That means that you've got a little bit of light across your field as well. Add a few hay bales in scattered across the field. It makes it look as if that hay has been collected up and is regrowing. If you put them over the slabs that you've waterlogged to give a complete hydration to the fields, it hides them up as well. You've now got a fantastic field that wouldn't look out of place on any world. Which brings us to our very last Minecraft 1.18 survival build idea. And the biggest tip I can give you for building is bushes. There is almost no Minecraft build that can't be made to look a little bit better with some bushes. I recommend a mixture of oak and spruce. They go together really well. You get a great texture and they make buildings, paths and just the general landscape look so much more natural. So if the only thing that you take away from this tutorial today is bushes, you're already 3 times better at building. There you have 40+ building tips and tricks that you can put in your Minecraft 1.18 survival world. Your new world is going to look fantastic. Remember, you can download this world at Avomance.com and come and have a closer look at these 40 build hacks. You could then clear them out and use this world because the seed is absolutely fantastic for your brand new Minecraft world. If you have enjoyed this video, please do remember to slap that like button. It'd be great to know you enjoyed them, and I will keep on making. Also, if you're not done already, please do hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to see you in my sub club, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.